Padapadme tayo shritva pranamami muhurmuhu. All of you please sit erect, close your eyes and try to withdraw your senses from external disturbances. Concentrate on the space, in the space of your heart. Concentrate on the luminous self. I will chant Om. After 5 minutes, I will again chant Om, and you can slowly open your eyes. Om. Shanti mantra. Please chant after me. Om. Sahana vavatu. Sahanau bhunaktu. Sahaviryam karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. Ma vidvishavahai. Om. Shanti. 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 So we were studying the Katha Upanishad. We call it death with a difference because according to Katha Upanishad, according to all the Upanishads and the Vedas in general, according to Advaita Vedanta, there is no death. And it's a passing phase in the transmigratory cycle of repeated births and deaths. And the only way to go beyond this, to get liberation or mukti, is by giving up the sense of ego, both in terms of enjoyment and ego in terms of doership. Bhoktritva, kartritva. So both enjoyership and doership have to be given up. Till that is done, the actions we do, they incur results which are also called karma. And because of these fruits of actions, we have to come again and again in this world. So death with a difference, Katha Upanishad, is a discourse between the Lord of Death and Nachiketa. We were in the third canto of the second chapter. Last week we saw this imagery of an inverted tree, Urdhva Mula, Avak Shakha, similar to the imagery given in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, Urdhva Mula Madashakam. We saw how the root is Brahman and how the branches and the trunk have all come out. And we saw what everything stands for. The seed which causes this tree to sprout from the root of Brahman is ignorance. As you know, Brahman plus ignorance is this universe. So then we saw the next mantra, where it was said that whatever we see in this world is because of the fear of Brahman. This was again a imagery of the Upanishad to drive home the point that Brahman is the basis of everything in the universe. And then again we refer to the classical example of the rope and the snake. Now we go to the next mantra. This sentiment or this idea has already been discussed in Katha Upanishad in the previous chapters, and that is, what is that? That because of the fear of Brahman, everything happens in this world, in this cosmos or universe. So again, why is it told as fear? The imagery is just like people work seeing the boss, or people like work, seeing servants work seeing the king or the owner of the house, similarly master of the house, similarly Brahman inspires action. Now this can also be compared with the ideology of the first philosophical school of India, which is considered to be the oldest, and that is Sankhya. Sankhya the term comes from the term Sankhya. Sankhya means counting. It also means enumeration. So the enumeration of the basic principles of life, which are counted to be 24 according to Sankhya. So that enumeration, a thing which is based on that enumeration, is called Sankhya. The propounder of this philosophy was Kapila. Swami Vivekananda calls him one of the most profound persons India has ever produced. So this Sankhya, there we see that the ultimate principle is what? Purusha. And this Purusha is inspiring Prakriti. What is Prakriti? Prakriti is the state of equilibrium of the three qualities Sattva, Raja and Tamas. So there are three gunas or three qualities, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. When all these qualities come in a state of equilibrium, Samya Avastha, then in that state they are all together called Prakriti or also Pradhana. So now this is the ideology, and so seeing this people work.
Swamiji, what is this meaning of the equilibrium?
Equilibrium, I will tell you. See, so this is the ideology. People work. So when you have what is the kind of analogy we can bring in our daily lives, in the day-to-day example? So see, you have light, and when you have light, people can use the illumination provided by the light for different things. Somebody can watch movies, somebody can study books, somebody can sleep. Of course, you don't need light for sleeping, but maybe you can prepare the bed for sleeping. So this light, somebody can cook and somebody can eat, or somebody else can have different kind of entertainment. So that is why you have different kinds of lights, again also depending on the use of this light. But the light is also unaffected by the activity which is performed using the light. So you may use the night lamp to do something which is very secretive thing, something very naughty or KNOTTY, naughty, or you can use this night lamp to sleep. But the night lamp as in itself is unaffected by the purpose for which it is used. Now this is the philosophy, basic philosophy behind the statements as we find here in Katha Upanishad, and also the statement or the principle or the philosophy of Sankhya, which says that Purusha inspires Prakriti. Now Purusha has no action, it is actionless. Purusha doesn't mean Purusha as in a person. In Sanskrit language, Purusha also means a person, or sometimes it is used to mean a male particularly. But interestingly, etymologically, there is nothing in Sanskrit language which shows us that Purusha can mean only a male. Purusha can also be used for a human being, a person, irrespective of the gender. So, now, how is that somebody who is actionless, who is infinite, who has no parts, that is indivisible, how is that entity inspires action? How is it even possible? It is logically impossible. How can a person, when you say infinite, in time, space and causation, it is infinite. So how do you find some kind of, if an action has to take place, there is to be somebody else. So the moment you tell that, it becomes illogical. And that is exactly the point, that this entire Prakriti or the universe is simply illogical. There is no logic. It is beyond logic. So what does Advaita Vedanta say? And in a different language, what does Sankhya say? Why Sankhya? Because that was the first philosophy of India. What does it say? It says that because of ignorance, you have postulated or thought about this Prakriti. Because of ignorance, where there is only one reality, you have imagined various things. So that is because of ignorance. And once the ignorance goes away, you will be freed from this optical illusion. That is the whole idea. So now coming to what is this Prakriti and how do these three qualities come in a state of equilibrium. In our daily lives, we see that while we get up in the morning, we come out of lethargy into activity. So we are sleeping nicely, and some people get up early in the morning at 11 o'clock and some people get up at 5 o'clock, as the case may be. So at 11 o'clock, people who get up, even then they are coming out from a bout of lethargy, break fast. You have fasted all in your sleep. So you come out of that and you have, some people have breakfast, some people have brunch, and you are coming to, so this lethargy or inertia, darkness, things which you don't like, abhorrence, all these are associated with a quality called tamas. So Swami Vivekananda said, we have got a lot of inertia now. So what India needs now is some action. And Rajas is the next level. That is lot of activity. Activity, heat. Tamas is associated with cold. Or cold means not in that sense of cold, but something which is inactive, that kind of cold. Rajas, heat, activity, lot of disturbance, motion, etc. is associated with Rajas. The color associated with Rajas, there is a color associated with Rajas, that is red. The color associated with Tamas is black. And then there is the Sattva. What is Sattva? Very serene. You see, opposites look alike. Ultraviolet and infrared, you don't know which is which, of course. Without technology, it is difficult. So, both you cannot see. So, similarly, saints and sinners look alike. So, this fellow is a lazy fellow and the other fellow is a saint. So, white is the color associated with Sattva. And what is it? Equanimity, peace, calmness is associated with Sattva. So, that is what? Peace. So how do they come in equilibrium? That is the whole point. In this universe, at one state, they are all in equilibrium. This Rajas, Tamas and Sattva, everything is in equilibrium. And that is what is called Pradhana or Prakriti in Sankhya. So now, they come in equilibrium just like the beginning point of creation. Say Ice Age 4 or 5, whatever. So that is Prakriti, and that leads to creation. So Prakriti by itself leads to creation. This is the idea. In our daily life, what we can understand is, when this whole world goes into this Ice Age, and from Ice Age again it comes, that Ice Age point is Prakriti. And even that Ice Age, why should there be an Ice Age? Why should there be a duality? Why should there be a thing Y after X? If X is Brahman or the ultimate reality, why should there be Y? So you can just say that, what is the big deal? It is how it is. Why do we even ask this question? Yeah, it is there, so what is the problem? Why are you all bent upon proving that there is only one reality? Let us accept there are many realities. That is what the postmodern philosophers will say. Why do you... See, I have told you this earlier also. There was a professor, it happened in one of Indian universities. A professor was teaching postmodernism. And a person who was... Now these people have different electives, major, etc. as in every institute. So this student was Advaita Vedanta major and having a small paper in this thing, postmodernism. So that person got up and said, but sir, what is the underlying reality? So the professor immediately saw under the table and said, I don't see any underlying reality. Underlying the table, no reality. So why do we even need to accept that there is only one reality? That is the question. And the answer is because of logic. Because of logic. Because you see, if we have to explain, cosmological people are there, theoretical physics person is there. So if we have to explain, like Stephen Hawking wants to explain the beginning point of the universe, somewhere we have to stop. We have to take some point as the beginning point. And if that has to be scientific, it has to be only in a cyclical pattern. Like you cannot say, like some religions say that God sat in a particular date and decided to create the universe. It simply doesn't make sense and it's not scientific. If it has to be scientific, it has to be like chicken egg story. Whether chicken came first or egg came first, we don't know. And we don't care because it's a cycle. Similarly, evolution, dissolution. Evolution, dissolution. And that's what Advaita Vedanta says. There can be no more scientific thing about that. Now, whether you say that this evolution started from black hole or from any other hole, I don't care. It doesn't matter. So you call it black hole, I call it Brahman. We are on the same side actually. Sailing in the same boat. So that is the idea. So for that we need to understand that this Prakriti, as in Manisha Panchakam, Shankaracharya will say, Sa Ishwaram Maya Kalpitam, that Lord has been imagined by me. If you read Mandyuka Karika or Ashtavakra Samhita, particularly in Ashtavakra Samhita, the wonderful teaching given to King Janaka by sage Ashtavakra, there he says that why are you trying to meditate? See, even meditation is considered something inferior. They say that you are trying to meditate on you as the self, as the Atman, but you are already the Atman. Like Professor Somnath here will not try to meditate in the morning like I am Somnath, because it is ridiculous. No, you are already Professor Somnath. So like that, Ashtavakra Samhita says that you are already the Atman. Why do you want to? It is like telling I am a human being. So you should be in the loony bin. But you are telling this. So that means you are already that. So that is what Prakriti is. It is a projection. It is an optical illusion we create. It is some manufacturing defect we have got. Like in Katha Upanishad it said, Parang pashyati na antaratman. So all the senses, they go outward. They don't see inside. And that is a manufacturing defect we have. So that has to be removed. That has to be removed. How? By seeing things as they are. Ramana Maharshi used to say this. You just see things as they are. Means in their true sense. So you say, yes, I see the body as it is and I apply a lot of cosmetics, stand in front of the mirror and go on and on and on. And I also go to pantaloons, west side and other so many things. And I try to, add little show to my body. No, you're not seeing things as they are. Why? Because when you go to pantaloons, your bank balance reduces. When you put cosmetics, it only stands for so many years. Now, everybody is not Shobhadi, So not everybody can look beautiful at 60 or 65. So this doesn't happen. So she is known to have said sometime back in one university that I am kind of a medical miracle. Oh, so people think that they are some kind of miracle, but even that person will die one day. So this is something. So you see things exactly as they are. You see the body exactly as it is. What it is temporary. So what you celebrate doomsday. You become suicidal. You say, anyway, I am going to die. Abhi mar jate hain. No. You understand that there is even though your body is temporary, why is that always you feel that there is something permanent in you? Why is that always you feel that everybody will die but I will remain? Why is that even a completely memory loss patient, complete amnesia, does not forget the word I? These questions have to be thought about. If you think, then you will understand that your true personality lies not in the body, not in the mind, but something much superior to that. That is why people like Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, people who have not read can read it. Now this person, very interesting, he accidentally arrived at the truth which has been spoken of by many religions across the world. This person did not believe in all these things, but suddenly one day he got some kind of realization, and he describes that. So if this were all wrong, then why do people arrive to this truth? So we, as Swami Vivekananda says, we believe in scientific superstition, but not in, I don't want you to believe in any superstition. But what is science? Science is a set of truths which are verifiable, repeatable, and which has got a hypothesis, and you make laws out of that. So Vedanta is also a truth which is verifiable, repeatable. Only thing is you have to practice. If you need to do a PhD to just start research into nuclear physics or particle physics, you also need some kind of training to understand Vedanta. As simple as that. This thing we have to understand. So you may ask, why don't you, I have not told this here, I think I have told privately, but once this Saha, Meghnad Saha, he had a classmate, his name was Nirvedananda. So who started the Calcutta Students' Home, Ramakrishna Mission, Belgoria. So they were classmates, and Meghnad Saha you are all aware of. So he went to his Saha Institute, he had already started. And this Meghnad Saha said that, look here, you talk all abracadabra, all gibberish, and doesn't make any sense because you say all this Advaita Vedanta and all that, and it doesn't make any sense. So he said, okay. Then this Nirvedananda ji asked this Meghnad Saha, can you teach nuclear physics to your gardener? He said, you are talking like a fool. How is it possible? A gardener, a illiterate, almost illiterate person, how can he understand nuclear physics? He said, yes. So you are also talking like a fool. How can you understand Advaita Vedanta without having any background, without having put any time to understand that? So for something very physical, you need so many years of research. So something subtler than that, something which is less gross than that, you need more research, more understanding. That's the only thing. And that is why Sri Ramakrishna said that yes, I have seen God, I can show you God. The very fact that even today, Eckhart Tolle is not a very old man or something. I think he's well within his, not even 60s, even lesser than that. So a person like that, today also people are experiencing truths without any background, religious background, without any catechism. They are experiencing truths, is a proof that this is very much existing. Otherwise, across religions, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Zoroastrianism, all people will not tell the same thing. Now, there is something. Now, whether I choose that path or not, it's a choice. And that everyone has. So, the Upanishad says that you see, what you're seeing is just an optical illusion. But this is an optical illusion. It is not a brain damage. These are two different things. You see, what is a brain damage? That is also told there. Akasha Puspa. You see a flower in the sky. That is brain damage. There can be no flower in the sky. It's a brain damage. Something seriously wrong with you. Or you see horns of a rabbit. That is also brain damage. How can rabbit have horns? Probably from the distance you are seeing the ears itself as horn. But mirage, even on tar road you see water. That is not brain damage. That is optical illusion. That is optical illusion. But what is being told is, this universe is not even optical illusion. It is worse than that. It is a more concrete illusion, just like in a relationship. You think the other person loves you so much till the person ditches you. So that kind of illusion. It's a very palpable illusion. You can feel it. And why does that happen? Because you put the faith in the other person. Why does this illusion of universe happen? Because this illusion is based on a reality, and you call it black hole, you call it Brahman. That reality remains. Remove the reality, the illusion also will go away. Remove Brahman or God, call whatever you want, the universe also will go away. So that, to prove that point, the Upanishad constantly gives different kind of imageries. So here the Upanishad is telling, I will chant it, you can, is it readable? Bhayadasya Agnistapati Bhayat Tapati Suryaha Bhayad Indrascha Vayuscha Mrityur Dhavati Panchamaha. What is the meaning? Bhayat. Bhayat means out of fear. Asya Agni Tapati. This fire burns. Bhayat Tapati Suryaha. And Surya or sun shines because of fear. Bhayad Indrascha Vayuscha. And from fear, Indra and Vayu or air. Indra is the god of kings, Deva. And Mrityur Dhavati Panchama. And they all run away. And death, the fifth Panchama is the death here. They all run. Indra, air and death, they run. Why? Because they are afraid. Why they are afraid? Because in the previous mantra we saw that Mahad Bhayam Vajram Udyatam. A person has lifted the rod or the thunderbolt and about to strike, so they are trembling because of that. So this is an imagery to show that only has got the power. Just like a generator is there, and if you switch off the generator, if there is a load shedding, everything else will be off. So the electricity is there, and electricity, if it goes, all your equipment will be. Earlier on, we were not dependent on all these things. Then we got dependent on electricity. Then we got dependent on computers. Today we are dependent on google.com. So this is very important. So if you remove this electricity, then everything goes away, everything goes berserk, and there is a lot of vandalism, looting, etc. Not in India, elsewhere, because here we are accustomed to the idea of load shedding. So there they are not. So all security systems fail, everything goes away. So bhayad tapati. So because of the fear of electricity, because of electricity, everything happens. If electricity is not there, there is no electricity in your life, no spark in your life, so to say. So that is what is being told here. It doesn't mean, because you see in duality, what do we see in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad? Dvitiyat vai bhayam bhavati. How does fear come? Because of duality. If two is there, then fear will come. So here, when the Upanishad says that there is only one truth, Brahman, then why does it also say that all these people run? Because of ignorance. Because of ignorance. If there were no ignorance, then the whole question of running out of fear would not come. But why this ignorance is there, and why is this ignorance creating a universe? Because of Brahman. Had there been only ignorance, no Brahman, you would not have created. So one thing we have to understand, universe, neither scientifically nor according to Vedanta, this universe came out of nothing. It is not that somebody came and simply decided that universe will be created and out of nothing universe was created. It never happens like that. That we have to understand. Then next mantra, Iha Ched Ashakat Bodhum Prak Sharirasya Visrasaha Tataha Sargeshu Lokeshu Shariratwaya Kalpate. In Viveka Chudamani, it is told, Shankaracharya says, what does Shankaracharya say in Viveka Chudamani in the beginning? That three things are very important. What are they? Durlabham, very rare to get. What are they? Manushyatvam mumukshatvam mahapurusha samshayah. So, human life and the desire for liberation, and what else? Mahapurusha samshayah. The company of great people. So, these things are difficult to get. In the language of a physicist, it is very difficult to get admission into IIT. One. Second, or maybe such institution for physics. Second, it is very difficult to study it. Third, it is very difficult to get a face-to-face conversation with Roger Penrose. So these things are very important and very rare in a physicist's life. Similarly, in a human life, these are very rare. What is the shloka of Bhagavad Gita? Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvatah. So you see, there is a population, there is a township of so many people. How many people want to come and listen to something related to the Upanishad? Very few. Manushyanam sahasreshu. Of thousands of people, kaschid yatati siddhaye. Some people want to attain perfection. Perfection not in the sense of work. Perfection not in the sense of becoming wealthy. Not in that sense this word siddhi is used. But siddhi is used in the sense of attaining realization of one's own true personality. That. And even those people who try to attain perfection, yatatam api siddhanam kashin mam veti tatvatah. Swami Vivekananda says, out of 100 people who try to realize God, 75 are hypocrites. And out of that, another 25 become mad or something, and 5% people only can attain. And of that 5% also, 1% can truly attain. So this is the idea. So it is very rare, this birth. That's why Sri Ramakrishna said that the goal of human life is to attain God realization. Now, iha ched ashakat bodhum. Iha, in this world, if ched, if one can, ashakat, no, ashakat in the past tense. If in this world, if somebody can know, bodhum ashakat, what one can know? The knowledge of Brahman, one's own self, the knowledge of self, if somebody can know. Prag sharirasya visrasaha. Before the visrasaha, dissolution of sharira. Sharirasya visrasaha prag. Prag means before. Before the dissolution of the body. Before you give up the body, if you can know your true personality in this very life, in this very world, then tatah sargeshu lokeshu, then what happens? If he does not, then what happens? Sargeshu lokeshu sharirattvaya kalpate. So if you are able to get the knowledge of Brahman or your true personality in this very world, very good. No problem. You are free. You will not have to come again to this world. But if you are unable to do that, if you are not able to understand your true personality in this very life, then you will have to take birth again and again. Sargeshu lokeshu, in this world and other worlds. So you will go and again. Now already you have multiverse. So now here Neeraj is sitting in some other, there are n number of universes in where Neeraj is, in one universe Neeraj is teaching Katha Upanishad. In another universe Neeraj is studying in nursery. Something like that. So the same Neeraj has got so many n number of instances. Wonderful theory with no empirical evidence. But anyway, it's a good theory. So like this is all theoretical physics, no? Theoretical physics. But that is outside your domain. So you can theorize anything practically. So this is what. So like that you have to come. Sargeshu lokeshu. In different worlds you have to take birth. You have to take birth. And then if Neeraj is going to tell, what do you know? I was in IIT. Then they say, no. Finger on lips, A for apple. So that you will have to hear. So that is why in Bhaja Govindam, the Charpatta Panjarika Stotram, Shankaracharya says, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Janani, Jathare Shayanam, Iha Dustare, Khalu, Iha Sansare, Khalu Dustare, Kripaya Pare, Pahi Murare. So please remove me, please Pahi, please save me from this place, this ocean of transmigration. That is the idea. So whatever, before you leave, Ihaiva Tairjita Sargaha, in Bhagavad Gita it is told, here itself you have to give up the attachment to the ego, attachment to the concept that you are the body illusion, Bruce, something, no? Bruce, forgot again name, The Body Illusion. It's a wonderful book, The Body Illusion, Bruce. And also you have books by Susan Blackmore or V.S. Ramachandran, all these kind of books where it is Oliver Sacks, where it is very clearly neurology has come to the conclusion that the whole notion of our body is an illusion. So brain is constantly trying to prove that this is the locus of your body, which today neuroscientists say is itself questionable. Because some tinkering here and there, and you will start believing that, I will start believing that Neeraj is my body. Imagine that. And it is already proved empirically, experimentally. So these things happen. How are these things happening? Because there is definitely something beyond this body which is consciousness. This brain itself is an interesting thing to study. There are serious kinds of studies in brain. You know, the whole thing I have told you. See, there is this empathy. There are empathy cells in the brain. So when somebody sees somebody being hurt, you feel something in the brain. The same area gets fired, gets activated in the brain. So when I see somebody beating other person, how do I know that it is not me? Because I don't get a confirmation from my skin cells. But otherwise, the activity in the brain is same. If I see somebody getting beaten and if I am beaten up myself, the activity is same. Only I know the difference because I am not getting any confirmation from my body tactile senses, means touch senses, that I am getting beaten. So this probably explains the incident of Sri Ramakrishna, where he saw two boatmen fighting and his back got reddened. You see, neurology is explaining many things which we thought were miraculous or which we could not understand. So there are so many things. So why? This whole idea of body is an illusion. This whole idea of body is temporary. Mind is an illusion. Mind is temporary. Today morning you are happy. After listening to the lecture you are depressed. So like this. See, this is also an illusion. Everything is illusion. This mind is also illusion and it is also temporary. Moods are temporary. So why do you want to come again and waste your true personality in this illusory cycle of birth and death? So this is the chance you have got. Kshine punye martya lokam vishanti. Somebody comes to you and says that not everything can be purchased by money. For other things there is MasterCard. Okay, and you go and you get it. And they say you are a VIP customer and we will give you privilege and all that. But what? After 45 days you have to pay the bill. So you thought there is no catch, but this is the whole catch. You are fully caught. And somebody will call you and tell that, yes sir, we want to give you loan and we want to give you loan, and 1 lakh rupees they will give you loan, and then you have to, then afterwards you have to go behind them that please reduce the interest or whatever. So you see, things always come, there are no free lunches. So things always come with a huge price tag. Nowadays it becomes bigger and bigger. So huge price tag. And you think, to shine punye martya lokam vishanti. Even if you think that you will do some good merit work, punya kam, and you will go to heaven, when that is reduced, when that is weakened, again you will fall dhap with a big thud to this world, because this is the place where you have to exhaust your fruits of the actions you have performed. Karma phala. So better do it now and get rid of the whole thing instead of postponing it for further. So that is what. So why should we do this? Why should we do this? Why? Because as I told, this is the place where only in this world where it is possible for you to exhaust the karmas. So suppose you go to heaven, there you will not be able to exhaust your karma. How is that? So the next mantra explains that. It says, Yatha darshe Tatha atmani Yatha swapne Tatha pitriloke Yatha apsu Pariva dadrishe Tatha gandharva loke Chaya tapayoriva Brahma loke. So yatha adarshe tatha atmani. Adarshe. What is adarsha? Mirror. Adarsha means mirror. Yatha tatha atmani. So you see, atmani here means your mind. So atman is the word, but here it means mind or intellect. That's why we need commentators. Otherwise we don't know. I told you many times, what is PhD? Pizza Hut delivery. How do you even know that? PhD is Pizza Hut delivery. We all thought it is Doctor of Philosophy.
Somebody said permanent 8 damage.
Means equivalent with Doctor of Philosophy. That I can understand. But Pizza Hut delivery. So PhD, okay. PhD is given to a person who has some permanent head damage, or in the near future will have permanent head damage. And that is why, more people and more people are getting head damages. Anyway, so as you say, if you copy from one place, it is plagiarism, and if you copy from many places, it is research. And now you have all kinds of complicated software for this. You name it, we have it. OneNote, that, this, citation, this thing. What do they do? Annotation software. What do they do? You just copy, paste, put it there. Copy, paste, put it there. And if we can go through many websites and many Google books, etc., then finally you have a very decent thesis. Only thing, they should not be able to trace the original. So if it is not possible, it's so neatly concatenated and all that, that you can do that. So, yatha adarshe, pure mind. One sees in a mirror. What does one see? If the mirror is not having any kind of, if it is not old and the chemical substance which is put behind is not worn off, then the mirror, what does it show? It shows clearly what is there. That is your face, etc. It will show clearly. Yatha adarshe. Just like in a mirror you see very clearly, similarly, tatha atmani, in one's own intellect. Here atman means intellect, not soul. In one's own intellect, you will see your own self reflected. Compare it with the statement of Sri Ramakrishna. What is the statement of Sri Ramakrishna? Shuddha Mon, Shuddha Atma, Ek. Why? Shuddha Mon, Shuddha Buddhi, Shuddha Atma, Ek. Atma is always Shuddha. So pure mind, pure intellect and Atman are one. How? How is that? So you see, this ignorance is perpetuated, aggravated by your mind and intellect. So when the mind and intellect become pure, then they don't perpetuate or they don't aggravate any ignorance. In that case, what happens? What is there is reflected. And what is there? Your Atman. So there is sun and the water is crystal clear. If anyone has gone to Kailash Mansarovar, you will see the water is clear. You can see the bed very clear. Or if you have gone to Bakra Nangal, you will see the water in that huge 1 lakh acres. That is the extent of Bakra Nangal. So that is crystal clear. You can see the bed of the reservoir. So it's crystal clear. In that, what will be reflected? Sun will be reflected. There will be no blemishes in that reflection. It will be reflected as the original. So a screen is there. Here somebody has done some artwork. So if there were no artwork, then we could get a reflection exactly as in the computer. But we get some blemish. So in our laptop, sometimes the screens have got some blemish, then you clean them. So here the idea is, your intellect, if it is pure, if your mind is pure, it will reflect the Atman exactly like a clean mirror reflects your face properly. So now what is the corollary out of that? What do we understand like that? That you have to purify your mind. That you have to purify your mind. Because once you purify your mind, then automatically that will be reflected. That is why Shankaracharya or people after him, they said that you should do work for what? Chitta Shuddhi. For the purification of your chitta, that is mind, you need to perform work. What kind of work? All these Vedic sacrifices you perform, and then your mind will become pure. Swami Vivekananda said, no, you can do Karma Yoga and that itself will lead to the realization of your self. But what is Karma Yoga? Performing selfless action. Actions which are selfless, without any expectation, without any motive, you perform actions. Selfish motive, without any motive, selfish motive, you perform actions and your mind will be cleared. Your impurities will be removed. How are impurities removed? Suppose you have a piece of metal, ore. How are the impurities of an ore removed? No. A metallic ore, how are the impurities of that removed?
There are certain processes.
Through chemical reactions,
First of all, breaking and then
or by smelting.
By smelting is one, yes, smelting is one way, which I think is used in a big way.
Actually, industrial process.
Yeah. A major process is smelting. So smelting means what? Actually you are adding fire to that, to put it very grossly. Fire. So what is the word for fire? Agni in Sanskrit. What does it give? It gives heat. So smelting is actually heating the ore. So what is, you are heating it to red hot iron. So there is fire in the iron, but it does not give smoke. In philosophy, in Indian philosophy, they will say, yatra yatra dhumo tatra tatra vahni. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. But there is an exception to this rule. What is that? Red hot iron.
No, the opposite is not.
Opposite not, I mean, otherwise that doesn't necessarily follow.
So wherever there is, that's what they say. That see, the opposite is not true. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. But wherever there is fire, there need not be smoke. Like taptaya pindaha, means a red hot iron. We see. And what is the example for that? Like you see in that, what you call, you see smoke in the mountain and you see that there is fire. And also you see smoke in kitchen and then you understand fire. Nowadays, of course, there is no smoke. But earlier on it was there because of timber or wood used as fuel. Anyway, so this red hot iron, so the word for heat is tapa in Sanskrit. So that means tapa, tapati, we saw just now, that fire burns, bhayat agnis tapati. That is why the word for spiritual austerity is called tapasya. So you heat your mind and purify it. You heat your intellect and purify it. Constantly heating it, and it will melt. All the smelting, all the dross, all the impurities will go away. How do you do that? There are many ways. That is the entire process of spiritual practices across religions. Is this? That is what this thing is saying. That when the Upanishad says, just like a mirror which is clean will show you your face, similarly your mind, if it becomes pure, will show you your true personality. What do? Morning we go and do so many things, antics in the bathroom, from shaving, etc., etc. Then finally all the water is splashed, so finally you wipe the mirror clean and it becomes dry also. Next day morning also you will see your beautiful face, or not beautiful, as the case may be. So this you want to see, and that is why you try to take care of the mirror so much. Similarly, we want to see our true personality, and that is why we should take care of our mind and intellect. But what do? We constantly put impurities into the mind. While talking about ahara, while commenting on the Bhagavad Gita, one verse in Bhagavad Gita, Shankaracharya says, ahara means what? Not just the food we take, but also the thought which we listen, which we put into our mind. What do? We constantly pollute our minds. How? So while we take food, we use this and that, and then so many types of cleaners, napkins and all that. We are so overconscious about the external purity. But while reading, we read all kinds of rubbish material. In fiction, while watching, we watch all kinds of things. We waste time for things which are unnecessary. You see, this life is very precious. There are so many things to know, even knowledge-wise. But we waste our times in unnecessary things. Things which can be avoided. If you can calculate how much time we spend in unnecessary things like playing Farmville. I don't know, you may not be aware. Yeah. Facebook. Like most of the people live in Facebook. Like they don't live out of, they live in Facebook. They are Facebook. So they live, and then there can be serious problems. Like I have told you many times. One person actually told me in a college that earlier this year, that the other people have got more than 200 friends. I have only 50 friends. This is a problem. So seriously, that person was attending psychiatrist, attending counseling sessions, and also taking drugs like Valium and stuff. So you see, because why? I have only 50 Facebook friends. This is what we all live in Facebook. We have a illusory. What does it even mean in the real life? Okay, go ahead, do whatever you want, read books, even watch movies, do whatever, but at least do something. So Facebook, illusory. The whole world is illusion. In that you have created another illusion, and you have cocooned yourself inside that, and you are staying there wonderfully. And as I have already told, Facebook relationship cycle. Neeraj? You don't know? Facebook relationship cycle, FRC. Single, Indian relationship, committed, married, complicated, single. Shankaracharya, if he had to come again, he would not say Janana Marana, Punarapi Jananam. He will say Punarapi single, Punarapi committed. So, this is what is happening today. So, we are creating a whole world. What are we doing? Polluting ourselves. You see a poster of what? Some 3G connection, and I don't know why this beautiful lady should be there. What is the connection between 3G and this lady? No connection. No connection. Today morning somebody was telling me that, Maharaj, yes, it is true, but it is also true that women also need to dress properly. I said, don't even start that topic. Because we have talked about this rubbish thing so long. Why should somebody dress properly? If suppose somebody does not wear any dress, does it mean that we will all pounce like bulldogs on that person? That doesn't make sense. Then what is civilization? So please don't say, and as Swami Vivekananda said, the problem of woman is aggravated by other women only. Other women only. So never even, there are some women here, 4 of them. So never even say, never even think of blaming a woman for the poor plight she is suffering. And if you do a statistical study, most of the people who are suffering were all wearing saris or all that. So what about dress code? And why should there be dress code? I don't find a person being assaulted just because so many people, male, they move around bare-bodied. In fact, sometimes it is a fashion to remove the t-shirt. No? So, but nobody is assaulting them. Why is that? Because, our mind is so polluted, so perverted. We are living in a society which is too troubled, so perverted. Why? Because we are constantly thinking of these things. Sri Ramakrishna says, what you think the whole life, only that you will say. To Bankim Chandra he said that, so you have always thought of that. He said what? Ahar Nidra Maithun. What is human life? Bankim Chandra, such a literature figure, literature. He said that Ahar Nidra Maithun. He said, yes, what you have done, that is what you are doing this, coming out of you. All life you have done only this. So we pollute our minds. We don't think. See, in neurology, in nuclear physics, in quantum physics, in quantum mechanics, so many things are happening all the world over. And interdisciplinary. You go to humanities, everything is now interdisciplinary. There is nothing separate discipline now. There is really no such thing as a separate discipline today. In sciences, everything. Everyone is converging to where? To the same question. You go to Upanishad, the question is what? Give me one. What is that? By knowing which I can know everything. And not the question of the physicist that give me one force which will explain all the forces. Same question. Everyone is moving towards convergence, and today we are polluting our minds. And that is what the Upanishad says, Yatha Adarshe, just like a mirror will reflect you properly if it is cleaned in a proper condition. Similarly, if your mind is in a proper condition, it will reflect your true personality. So what we should do? We should go back to the Gita, 4th chapter, 10th shloka. What is that? Vitaraga bhayakrodha manmaya mam upashritaha Bahavo jnana tapasa puta mad bhavam agataha. So this jnana tapasa, this intellectual austerity we have to do. I have been telling again and again, we have to put a firewall in our brains. We have to put a cyber patrol in our brains. Or antivirus, Norton or whatever, Panda Cloud, whatever. And that antivirus will always tell you, no, this is not the thought you should bring into your brain. No, I don't need to go there. I don't need to waste my time. So much of time we waste daily. And do what? So people, they have a wonderful idea of relaxing. What? After that they become again. If a relaxation technique leads you to hangover, then what is that relaxation? That is not relaxation. You are actually taxing the body again. Sleep, that is relaxation. Have a good food, take a refreshing bath and sleep. That is relaxation. So make things simpler and life will become simple. This mind training is very much important. Like we try to meditate 5 minutes here. How many of us give time for the mind? How many of us read good thoughts? How many of us think about good things? There was a paper started. Of course, they couldn't circulate it properly. Good News Tab. A tabloid which will bring only good news in Kolkata. They have their office in Baliganj. But somehow I could not get a copy also because there's no distribution of that properly. People don't want good news. Open the paper and that person was raped, this person was assaulted. I know that. Why should I again? And so graphic details of that and all. What is that? This is kind of voyeuristic thing. It's bad. You are trying to pollute your minds. You are trying to inculcate. And you see, the more news of rape, it is like a vicious cycle. The more it increases because people are again and again told that this is what you should not do, and that is what they will end up doing. No? You tell a child don't go there, and that is where the child will go first. So we are polluting our mind. We should think of higher things. We should think of in science, in philosophy. All people want to make career. What? RKM factor, roti, kapda and makan. What will happen because of that? Nothing will come. So devote your life. So this miracle of mindfulness, Thich Nhat Hanh. What is that? Always be conscious of what is happening. Always be conscious that you are a human being. You are not a dog, you are not a pig. This you be conscious. You are not an amoeba. You be conscious of that. Vipaschit. That is the language in Katha Upanishad. So we be conscious of that. Our higher being, we be conscious of that. No species, at least not known to us, has been able to think so much within the planet Earth or even beyond. We are sending probes to other planets. Till now we don't know at least of other species who have done this. So we are a far, far superior species which can, human being is the only species which can think of a reality beyond